I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the...
Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Big Meech is out, finally.
Yeah, and the streets were definitely buzzing, weren't they? Like, a major comeback was on the cards.
Totally.
Yeah.
Everyone expected this huge return, you know, reclaiming his spot, his legacy.
And right out of the gate, Rick Ross steps up. Seemed like a powerful alliance forming.
It really did. Looked like the ultimate team up, but hold on, because things went sideways fast, like really fast.
Well, from the outside, you'd think that pairing made sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two big figures, similar worlds. Seemed logical they'd boost each other.
That was the expectation. A united front. Ross was like hype man #1.
Yeah.
Talking big about Meech's return, how he'd help him.
He seemed pretty committed initially. Promises made, you know.
Yeah.
Get Meech back in the game.
Then bam. It's like he just, I don't know, vanished from that picture.
And suddenly he's, back buddy-buddy with his old rival, 50 Cent.
Exactly. The same 50 Cent that Meech had, like, deliberately kept his distance from. It's a total head-scratcher.
The speed of it all is, well, it's something. And how public it became, this apparent shift.
Right. It leaves Big Meech looking kind of exposed, you know? Like he put his trust in something that just, poof, evaporated.
It really puts him in a vulnerable spot. And it highlights how fluid these relationships can be in that world, maybe even transactional.
And you know 50 Cent wasn't just going to sit back and watch. He never does.
Oh, definitely not. He thrives on this stuff.
Remember that big welcome back concert? The one Meech had planned at the Emirates Bank Arena?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the big launch, right?
Canceled, like right before it was supposed to happen.
Wow. What was the official reason?
Unforeseen circumstances. Real specific, huh?
Uh-huh. Sounds convenient. Especially given the timing.
You thinking what I'm thinking? 50 pulling strings behind the scenes.
Well, look at his reaction. That Instagram post with the cancellation flyer.
Oh, yeah. Dripping with sarcasm. That wasn't just shade. That felt calculated.
Completely calculated. He was basically claiming victory, saying, see, told you so, dominating the narrative.
He even brought up his old predictions, saying the concert would flop because of the lineup, like he knew all along.
He was like watching a master class and stirring the pot, wasn't it?
And he wasn't just posting, he was in the comments, engaging with people, denying he did anything, but with that smug kind of vibe.
Yeah, that I know something you don't attitude. Classic 50. He knows exactly how to leverage social media.
He turns someone else's setback into his win publicly. It's a power play.
Absolutely. He's shaping how everyone sees this in real time.
Okay, so try to put yourself in Big Meech's shoes for a second. Just got out, expecting this hero's welcome.
Yeah, after all that time away.
And your big comeback event. Canned. Last minute. You gotta figure he's feeling betrayed.
Oh, for sure. Looking for someone to point the finger at.
And the obvious target seems to be Rick Ross, right? The guy who promised support and then, well, disappeared into the 50 Cent vortex.
That's the natural assumption. Meech probably feels like a pawn. Maybe didn't realize the depth of the history between Ross and 50.
You think Ross was just using the BMF buzz? Trying to leverage Meech's name for himself?
It certainly looks like a possibility now, doesn't it? That the alliance wasn't maybe as solid or as genuine as Meech thought. Raises questions about loyalty.
And let's be real, there were already those whispers about Meech, even before this. The snitching rumors.
Right, those allegations never fully went away. They definitely cast a shadow.
So this concert falling apart, it kind of fueled that perception, didn't it? That maybe this comeback wasn't the dominant return they were painting it as, more like desperation.
Those rumors resurfacing definitely complicates things for Meech. Any hint of cooperating with feds is damaging in that world. Erodes trust, hits her standing.
It shows how fragile that kind of reputation can be.
Definitely. Built on a certain code, and any deviation is scrutinized heavily.
But wait, it gets messier? Lil Meech, you know, the star of the BMF show?
Yeah, playing his dad. What about him?
Well, word is, season 4 of the show might be canceled now.
Seriously. Is that connected to all this drama?
Seems like a pretty big coincidence, if not.
Right.
But then 50 Cent just drops this bomb.
Uh-oh. What did he do now?
He posts private text messages from Lil Meech online for everyone to see.
No way. That's brutal. Publicly leaking private messages.
Talk about pouring gasoline on the fire. That's a serious escalation.
That's a power move, designed to hurt, potentially devastating for Lil Meech's career, his reputation. Shows how ruthless these feuds get.
And the texts themselves.
No.
Wow, Lil Meech is basically spilling everything.
What's he saying?
He's talking about wanting out of prison, maybe even becoming an informant, hinting at flipping.
Whoa, he actually put that in writing to 50.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And he's pleading for 50's approval, stressing his loyalty to him.
Even with his dad being linked to Ross.
Yeah. He even admits Ross was giving Big Meech money, financial support to cover bills until the next BMF season supposedly kicked in.
That's a huge admission. Shows the financial dependency, the tangled loyalty.
Absolutely. Paints a picture of Lil Meech being in a really tough spot, caught between his dad and his career, which is tied to 50.
So he's asking 50 for approval while acknowledging Ross is bankrolling his dad. That's complicated.
And then he questions 50, asks why 50 unfollowed him on Instagram, why he's working with other artists Lil Meech says he introduced him to.
Artists like Skillaby and Rocket.
Yeah, he's like, I brought these guys to you, I've been loyal, what gives? You can almost feel the frustration.
So, from Lil Meech's side, it sounds like he feels betrayed too. Loyalty not being returned adds another layer.
It really does. Makes you wonder about the unspoken rules and power dynamics there.
What else was in those texts? Anything specific?
Oh yeah. He basically says, "No, you mad at me when I take the shirt off my back for you." He insists he's only shown love and loyalty.
Defending himself, basically.
Totally. And he says, I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you for Ross, but then admits he gave my dad some bread so he could afford to pay his bills. It's all just out there now.
Wow. The rawness of that, the vulnerability, it shows the impossible position he was in, trying to please everyone.
It kind of humanizes him amidst all the big power moves and drama,
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what was the reaction to these leaked texts?
Well, the game weighed in. Basically said Lil Meech should have been ride or die for his dad, regardless of his own issues with 50. Family first, essentially.
That's a common sentiment in certain circles. Loyalty to blood above all.
But 50, being 50, just fired back with sarcasm, asked what Lil Meech's little OG, meaning the game, was going to do about it.
Just classic dismissive 50, never backing down.
It's just this tangled web, isn't it? Allegiances, disses, history.
It really highlights the clash between loyalty, business, personal ties, especially in entertainment. The codes are different, or maybe just applied differently.
And we can't forget, this beef between Ross and 50 isn't new. This goes way back.
Decades, almost. Diss tracks, lawsuits.
Didn't Ross win a big chunk of money from 50 in court at one point?
Yeah, that happened. And even last year, Ross was still jabbing at him, calling 50 broke.
So that deep-seated bad blood, it never really went away. It's crucial context here.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder if Ross linking with Big Meech was partly, maybe even mostly, about poking 50 again, reigniting that feud.
Using Meech as leverage in their never-ending power struggle.
It's a strong possibility, which means Meech might have just been collateral damage.
Yeah, Ross uses him as a weapon. Things get messy. Ross cuts bait and runs back to his familiar battleground with 50.
Leaving Meech looking isolated, maybe even naive about the deeper games being played.
It really puts the focus back on who's actually pulling the strings.
Then looping back to those snitching rumors. They just keep popping up.
Right. There's this woman, Tammy Cowens, supposedly a friend of Meech, but also known as a federal informant.
Yeah, that's the story. That she was key in helping Meech get his sentence reduced.
But here's the really dark part of that rumor. That Meech's early release involved setting up his own partner.
Dion Cuffy Gatling, his longtime friend and business associate. The claim is Meech facilitated Cuffy's downfall as part of his deal.
That's a heavy accusation. Strikes right at the heart of loyalty, the street code. Changes how people see his return.
Definitely casts a long shadow. And didn't Cuffy's daughter confirm it?
Apparently so. Publicly confirmed the betrayal. So while Meech is trying to stage this comeback,
There's this whole other narrative running underneath. Alleged betrayal hanging over him.
it adds significant weight to those rumors. It shapes the whole perception. Makes you question the foundation of this comeback.
So what does this all mean for the BMF brand, the show? 50's built this empire around it.
Yeah, huge deal with stars. Is all this real-life drama gonna tank it? Could the show actually end because of this mess?
It's a valid question. The show's a hit, but this kind of public implosion, it could definitely create problems. Maybe overshadow the series itself.
Highlights that tricky balance, right? Using real life for drama, but real life can also derail the whole thing.
Exactly. The line gets very blurry.
It just makes you think hard about loyalty. Where does it actually stand in this world? Fame, money, street codes, what wins out?
Business or personal ties. It's the classic conflict.
And has Big Meech, with these alleged choices, permanently damaged his own legacy?
I think that's the million-dollar question right now. His actions, past and present, are definitely being debated. The impact on his reputation, on the BMF name, it's significant.
So let's recap the chaos. We saw Meech and Ross link up, then fall out spectacularly fast.
Likely fueled by Royce maybe wanting to poke the bear, which is 50 Cent.
Then we saw 50 seemingly maneuvering behind the scenes, maybe helping derail Meech's comeback concert.
While simultaneously airing out Lil Meech's private messages. A multi-pronged attack.
And all those old whispers about snitching, about betraying Cuffy, they're back with a vengeance, casting this dark cloud.
It's incredibly complex. The speed of it all, the public nature of the disputes.
Yeah.
It really shows how volatile things are at that level.
So it leaves us kind of wondering, in this whole high-stakes game of fame, influence, and street ties, where does genuine connection fit in? Is there room for it?
Or does the game consume everything? And what are the long-term costs for everyone involved? Their careers, sure, but also their names, their legacies.
Definitely something to keep thinking about. You know, considering all this, the power plays, the shifting loyalty, the clash between street rep and mainstream fame, what does this ultimately say about whether street credibility can even survive that collision? Can it remain authentic?